The ladies of En Vogue were at the top of the charts in the 1990s with a string of #1 hits and 2 multi-platinum albums. And this morning, we are so pleased to be spending the next hour with the funky divas themselves, En Vogue, starting now on Private Sessions. That was En Vogue performing their top 10 hit, Free Your Mind, and I want to welcome to the show Terry, Dawn, Cindy, and Maxine. En Vogue, it's so great to have you here.
Thank you.
It's great to be here.
So it is pretty big milestone that you guys have here, 20 years. Well, I don't want to say too big, you know, we're still pretty young here.
Well, that makes us 20 years old.
We actually were in the studio recording in '89, is that correct? Or
That's right.
Wrapping it up in '89, so
Right.
we weren't actually on the scene yet, but for us, that was
Yeah.
the beginning of our music career together.
It's so special. So obviously you guys are celebrating since you are the 4 original members that came together 20 years ago.
Yes.
How does it feel to be all back together doing this again 20 years later?
It feels so
Amazing,
good.
huh? Exactly.
Fun and exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's
we really
important.
do have a lot of fun together.
We do. We
Yeah.
work very hard, but it just feels like family when we're together. It's like the sisters you want to get rid of and then you miss when they're gone. You know?
Absolutely. You know,
Like,
that's
go away. Okay, I miss you. Come back.
That's a very unique and special thing to have, because I'm sure, as you know,
Yeah.
being in this business, that doesn't happen very often, especially with an ensemble group.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Especially an ensemble group where you all are the lead.
Yeah.
exactly.
And to
Right.
be able to come back and do it again.
Yeah. And when you say come back, En Vogue really never went away. There
Right.
was a few lineup changes throughout the years, but what I want to know is whose idea was it for you guys to get back all 4? Was there a particular time? Did something
It
happen?
was, timing more than
Was there a
anything.
Actually, I would say timing more so because it was marking the 20 years.
Right.
And we all wanted to come back and just pay homage to what we started.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
pick up where we left off.
Absolutely.
And so far, so good.
So
So far, so good.
How's the fans' reaction
Oh
been
my-
since you've been hitting the stage?
It's
overwhelming.
been exciting.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, oh my
my
goodness, the
gosh.
shows have been leaving us totally exhausted because the energy that they give us, they're so excited, and it makes us push more and
Exactly.
give more.
I bet.
We can't breathe on stage sometimes. It's like we drink bottles of water. Sometimes we'll take sips if the show's just kind of,
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
can't say this out loud because our manager is listening, but because we should always be giving, even though, you know.
Of course, of
But
course.
some shows are so explosive and the energy is just amazing.
So, Dawn, you really were kind of the missing link here for the most
Yeah.
part all along. What made you decide, you know what, I'm going to give this another go again?
It's just timing, you know. We have a new president and the country's in a different state now, and the 20-year anniversary really just led us here. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, it's time to come back and join my girls again. I've done other stuff, you know, Lucy Pearl
Sure.
and a couple little things, but this was just right, and it's always family, so it's just good to be able to come back. I mean, we have fans that want to see us, and they still love me. So I'm like, okay, I guess I can go back. It's good. It's a good
It is.
time.
And you know, with you being the missing link, Terry, do you feel as though sort of like you've been the holding down the fort kind of, you know, since you've been the one consistent member since the beginning, all the way through?
I love being an entertainer, and
I
it's
gotcha.
really just really been my #1 interest. Maxine has a daughter she's taken care of. Cindy's married with 4 kids. Dawn is married. En Vogue is my marriage.
And you guys all still look exactly the same, and might I add, just as good, if not better now,
Okay.
20 years later. Seriously. Anyone watching will agree with me right now.
Thank you.
All right, well, I want to find out how all of this stuff started for you guys and how we got to 20 years of En Vogue. When we come back, we'll hear how it all started for En Vogue, and don't miss a special performance of the smash hit My Lovin', Never Gonna Get It. Stay with us. En Vogue's smash hit, My Lovin', Never Gonna Get It. Now, En Vogue was born when each girl answered an ad for an audition for an all-girl group that was being put together by 2 producers in Oakland, California. Thousands upon thousands of hopefuls showed up, but only 1, or I should say 4, made the cut. Dawn, Maxine, Cindy, and Terry, who are with us right now. And I'm dying to know, first of all, you guys all came from, what, New Jersey, California, Connecticut, Texas. How did you... Yeah. How did you hear about the auditions? And do you remember them? Were they anything like what we see now, like American Idol kind of auditions?
No.
No.
Actually,
Well, you know, the stories, the synergy is interesting because I heard about the audition through a mutual friend of mine and Cindy. And he had never heard me sing before, but he knew of me through a friend that he was working with, through one of my friends.
Okay.
And my friend said to him, he told my friend that he was going to an audition that Foster McElroy was putting together for a girl group. And then my friend said, hey, I know a girl that should audition. And he said, okay, cool. And then Cindy and Gary came to Houston, and I met Cindy in passing.
But Gary was a friend of mine. He must have known your friend.
He knew Mark.
He
Yeah,
knew
he knew
Mark
my
Felton,
friend.
who was a musician that she was working with. And actually, he was bringing me to Texas to meet you guys because Carl Lewis, the word was, Carl Lewis was looking for some background singers.
Are you serious?
So he was trying to get
No,
me...
I never even knew that part.
He was trying to get me to Texas to meet you guys because I think that you guys had an in somehow with Carl Lewis, or that was the word.
I sang
so I was
background
coming,
on his first album.
Yeah, okay. So I came to
Wow.
Texas. I met Terry. I met Mark. And then we sort of stayed in touch. You know, she would call me every once in a while. She was in college, and she would be saying, I'm tired of college, and I just want to leave. My parents paying for it. Yeah, well, you better stay in college.
Okay.
So, and then one day, you came out to Los Angeles when I finally moved there, and we had lunch.
Yep.
And, you know, so we lightly kept in touch, and then
that's so
Gary found out
good.
about the
Yeah.
audition, and we both went on the same day, and you flew in, and you can tell that story.
And I was late.
Yeah, didn't you almost
was
not
like
even make
10
the
hours
audition?
late.
Yeah, it was, my flight was delayed.
From what time to what time, though?
Oh my goodness.
You're supposed to get in at like 3. You didn't get
Yeah.
till 10 at night or something?
Right.
No,
Was
she
it?
came in
No.
late afternoon.
It was late
Really?
afternoon. It was evening time though by the time I got
Was
there.
thought it was like
I
8,
remember
9,
she-
10.
I love how our guests get to
audition
know
was
each other
over.
on the show all over again.
The audition was over, but they were still there.
We were still there. We were still kind of...
We were recording.
Because you know what,
Recording.
we were family immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, there was
I mean,
like
it
a
just-
That's so true.
energy click
I
right
never
away.
would have guessed that.
Instantly.
You guys,
It really was. It
I
felt
feel like I'm part of
was
En
natural.
Vogue.
They really
Exactly.
only wanted 3 girls originally.
Well, I was going to say they were going for a trio, Foster and McElroy, but
Exactly.
and you almost didn't make the audition. You almost didn't even make the band.
Exactly.
Right.
So did they tell all of you this before, like right after they put you together, or did they wait? Did you have any idea they wanted trio?
Yeah, from the beginning.
Yeah, they told
I
us.
did,
They told
exactly.
us that they were only
Right.
wanted 3, and that
Really?
maybe
I didn't
all
know.
of us
You
wouldn't-
didn't know?
and that we weren't all going to be singing solo.
I had
There's
no
may only
details.
be one solo artist, so don't get upset.
Lead singer, yeah.
One lead singer.
I honestly didn't think I was going to make it.
Really?
So I was actually surprised to hear that I did make it, because on the day of the audition, to me, they were just singing their butts off. And I was just like, you know, I'd studied classical voice. I came from musical theater. I thought, if anything, I'm going to be, you know, if I sing, maybe I'll do the opera chorus in the San Francisco Opera or something. So I
Don't
just
shoot
didn't
for
think,
anything big or
you know,
anything,
I,
you
you
know.
know,
Exactly. So
I just didn't think that I had what they had, honestly. So when I heard I made the group, I was really surprised. And then, even when we got in the studio and we started working on our project, there were so many talented people in the Bay Area that would do a record deal or get a record deal. We hear about so-and-so got a record deal. And then you never hear from them. You never hear their project. It just got shelved or whatever. So I just knew that was going to happen to us. We're going to record an album. It's going to get put on the shelf. I'm going back to L.A. I'm going to be a star.
And she
I'm doing
treated us
acting.
like that. She treated
Come
us
on.
like that for
Exactly.
the first year. That's how
Ooh-wee.
she treated us. Like,
No, I didn't.
you little peons, I'm going to LA to act. This is not what I'm going to be
I am
doing.
Miss California. Okay? I'm a pageant queen.
I just knew that I wasn't going to be spending much time there.
It's so true.
I was going to be out.
But then we
it
were
just-
working, and she found herself working with
Okay.
us. Okay,
Yes,
we
yeah.
were really busy.
had to deal with
She
the
had
You know,
exactly.
The
We were
first
like,
single
you're
took
gonna
off
work.
overnight.
It did.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
really
I
did.
know
and
it
I didn't
did.
expect that.
And you
I
know-
really didn't. I was.
She was stuck with
But
us.
and I'm not complaining. I was happy.
Did they ask you guys to kind of model yourselves after any groups from the past and have you, act or create a certain image?
It kind
to,
of just
you know, that-
naturally happened, I think, just because of our harmonies and our blend and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And then a certain class that we had as far as the style of dress that we,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
I think it just was natural for us to kind of be likened to the Supremes. We hear that a lot. But yeah, so it was
There's
just
such a
natural.
big difference, though, too, because again, you guys, it wasn't just your harmonies and it wasn't just your style; it was your intelligence and the words that you
wow.
sang and all
Thank
that
you.
stuff.
And we
So,
were fortunate enough to be able to have the opportunity to work with producers who
Yes.
had a real respect for women. So we were conscious, they were conscious of what they were writing lyrically as well.
too bad they're not more
And
of
encouraged
those
us.
people.
I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know there was probably so many things from going from complete
Nobody's,
unknowns
exactly.
to becoming overnight stars. What changed the most for each of you? If you can think of one thing that changed the most when you guys made it over, went
You know
from
what? We were
nobody to
working-
somebody.
Well, I'm sorry
For
to
me,
talk
it was
over.
Yeah.
privacy.
privacy?
Yeah, it was.
exactly. I would say
you know,
that too. That was the
I
hardest
couldn't
part
go
for
to the
me.
grocery
Yeah.
store anymore, and people were staring, and I couldn't
Yeah.
handle it at first. After
She
a
has a hard
while,
time with
they had
that
to pull me to the side and say, Terry,
Yeah.
you can't be mean. And it wasn't that I was being mean. It was just so uncomfortable to
felt your
move
space was
around
invaded.
and someone's in your personal space constantly, or they're staring at you.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
You must
how
feel
to
like an alien.
react.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why are they looking at me?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it was strange.
And
then,
even to this day, though, still when people stare, I'm like, and I have to remember, oh, they know who you are. You can't get upset with that.
Sure.
Because they may know you, and
Yep.
you just have to remember that. But I think we were working so hard, and so much was
Moving
happening
so fast.
Yeah, it was really quick for us, and we really had to play catch up to hold on when it was out as a single. It took off like wildfire, so we were still, but we were traveling and working and busy.
Yeah, it became
to
really
handle
intense.
this. Exactly.
Yeah.
I bet it did. I bet
Tour
it did.
bus.
Now, are you enjoying it more, and because you're taking it a little bit slower and taking
Yeah,
time to?
I would say so.
Yeah,
I,
but
we've
it-
learned
We're
so
working
much
harder
now
now,
about the
though, it
business.
feels like.
Yeah, we're working really hard, but one thing that I love, I feel like we're mature now. Not so many things get to me, I feel personally like that. I feel like I can handle, it's the truth.
Can you tell we're having fun here on Private Sessions? That was En Vogue performing Hold On, their first single off their 1990 debut album, Born to Sing, and boy, were you guys ever. Born to Sing came out in 1990, then in 92 was Funky Divas.
Yes.
And then, but by the time the third album came out, EV3, things had kind of changed for En Vogue in a major way. What happened?
I think it was just, I disagreed with how business was being done, and things were taking different directions, and too many people, bringing in too many people, trying to get things understood, but not really getting to the business of stuff and getting things handled. I think Maxine said it best, that we weren't really a unit then.
Yeah.
So communication was all over the place, and we weren't really talking to each other and just keeping it us.
How
We
could you,
had
though, with
so many
everything going
people.
on
Yeah, things
so
are
fast and
coming at
furious
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
at that time? So basically, you just needed to.
I was just frustrated with stuff.
I understand.
You know, yeah, because to me, the caliber of group we were, we should have been making a lot more money. Because other people were coming out, and like the Brat, who was just a rapper, buying her mother a house, right? You know, first album. And we were on Funky Divas by the time. Actually, through EV3, he was recording, and we didn't really have that kind of lifestyle financially that I thought we deserved.
Do you feel that it was because you guys kept so busy with work and that you didn't have time to start to learn about the
actual
business side of
business.
things?
Exactly.
I would say
But that was from the start, though.
Were you surprised
Questions
about
that-
that, though? About what it really, like, with the kind of the underbelly of the music business isn't all glitz and glamour? Was that surprising to you?
I wasn't
No.
surprised.
You weren't at all.
No, and I wasn't surprised either. You heard so many stories from groups, you know, in the past, and just dealings with their record label, or dealings with their manager, or just that things didn't go right, or that they didn't learn their business, or they got a car, you know, got a Cadillac instead of getting paid, which,
Right.
of course, that didn't happen to us. But you know, there still were a lot of, I would say, monkey wrenches thrown into the workings, and things just started to break down at that point. And so Dawn decided to go. We had already worked on the album almost to the finish with
We're
you,
almost done, yeah.
and
One
so
song
we decided to just finish it and put that CD out. And of course, Dawn, you know, she's got her own fan base, and so a lot of our fans were disappointed to see her leave.
I'm sure.
That CD didn't do as well as our first two CDs. And I think that at that point, even the record company had realized, the head of the record company realized that you know, she had made a mistake in just, you know, letting Dawn go, and
Right.
it just
Oh, you mean
didn't.
Sylvia? I mean, it was,
Dawn's like, wait a minute, what are
Yeah,
you
man.
talking about?
Yeah.
But it seems like that, you know, because you guys say that you're so close with each other, almost like you were supportive. You understood she needed to do what she had to do. You may not have
really.
liked it.
I think had we just stayed closer together and just talked about what the things were that that I was bringing up issues constantly, I think if we would have talked about it more, it would have, I think, been more cohesive with just us. But the record company started coming in, and management wasn't, to me, doing the job that I thought he should have, and it was just.
And hindsight is definitely 20/20. No pun on the 20. being
Right,
the 20
right.
anniversary. How do I do
But
that?
20 is good, because 20 years later, now we're back, and it
That's
is
right.
cohesive.
I
It's
think
just beautiful
it's 10
now.
times better this time around
I agree.
because now we're more mature.
Yes.
We rely totally on each other.
Yes.
And it's just good now. It's about us, you know. And it's
is.
good. It's perfect.
All right, ladies, now it's time for another little surprise for you. You worked on a hugely successful song that has now today become a hip-hop classic, let's face it. And a couple of old friends of yours had a question for you about it. So take a look.
Hi, I'm Salt. What's going on? This is Peppa. What's up, ladies? What up? What up? My favorite story of being with En Vogue, of course, when we met, it was great, and when we did the video, it was amazing. Hot chicks. Oh my video, my goodness, what a man, amazing. I think that's my favorite Salt and Pepper video with all the ladies. Yes. But performing together for the first time ever, people don't know, was at the Hip Hop Honors in 2005, I believe.
It was 2005.
Or 6.
First time ever on stage together.
And that's crazy because What a Man was such a big song. We had never, ever, ever, since the video, performed it together. And I think we were the best performers since the beginning of Hip Hop Honors up until today. Nobody rocked that stage like we did.
Nobody. And that's not just from us. That's the word on the street.
And I'm sure you agree, ladies. It was some serious girl power. We got to do a tour together.
Yeah, girl.
Oh, yeah.
Some shows. Come on, ladies.
We have a question, and our question is,
I'm still looking for my What a Man, so does anybody else have a What a Man or someone that you consider your What a Man
or would consider singing What a Man to? Have you met that person yet? That's what I want to know.
I'm still looking.
Oh, Pep, you find somebody.
Think so?
Yes, absolutely.
That's so cute. That's so
They
cool.
are so cute.
I love them. I have never met them, but I want to now.
You should have them on. They're pioneers of the hip hop scene.
Oh, they
Females.
I can't believe that was the first time you all four performed together.
Isn't that amazing? We said the
That's
same
right.
thing. I mean, after having such a big hit for all of us, really, it
Yeah.
was like, what? This is the first, and since then, only time. You know,
Yeah,
we haven't
exactly.
been back.
Are you crying?
We haven't. Tear came out a little when they were talking like you did. I was like, that's so
We
sweet.
love them.
So have you all met your What a Man? Well, Terry's looking at me like, maybe. You all have?
Yeah.
I think I have now. He's getting himself together, so yeah, he's working on some things.
No,
Yes.
not yet for me.
Yeah.
Just for the record, I got the What a Man.
You do?
Got him. Oh, yes.
You mean one to share or for
No,
someone
not
else?
one to share.
Oh, one for yourself.
One to bear.
Yes, okay. That was En Vogue performing Don't Let Go, Love, one of my all-time favorite songs and the group's biggest hit to date. And recently, we had another R&B group on Private Sessions, you might remember, and they wanted to ask you guys a quick question because they heard you were coming in.
Oh,
Take a look.
gosh. Okay.
What's happening? This is Nate. This is Sean. This is and y'all know that, bro. You know, we're hi, girls. How y'all doing?
What's up?
And you know, we have much love for y'all. We all started around the same time, and you know, we enjoyed your music and just watching you guys perform. All very sexy, beautiful, can sing. You know, just the total package. And congratulations on the show. We know y'all rocking it, y'all kicking it, and that whole thing. But we have a question for you, okay?
The question is,
Be honest now. Have you ever seduced anyone with your music?
Oh, good question.
Glad I didn't ask.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know, hopefully
Not directly.
every time we perform, we're
He means
seducing
directly.
Right.
Yes,
he means
yes.
our
No, he
audience.
means
somebody at
privately.
home.
I know, but I'm trying to answer the
Oh,
question.
does I?
She's trying to cover it up. She's trying to cover her answers. Which
She's
is
like,
not
I
real.
just...
I've never. I
No, that would be weird. To hear myself singing to the guy.
Yeah. No, I can't say I have.
No.
Look at Max's face.
No, Well, I have to tell you,
I've done that
they
with
have...
Prince's music, but
Well, you know, guys.
Oh,
they're
of course.
guys. You
Some
know,
guys are. Yeah.
That's a
Well, they
question
got-
for them. Have they?
Well, they have.
Exactly.
They have?
Yeah, they actually have.
Wow.
Because they had to test out to see if the songs evoked emotion from the women.
really?
You know.
wow,
we
that's so
should
funny.
try
I could see that. I could see that.
We don't have
You know,
any
as a
girl
guy.
ballads, though. Don't
I could see that, man.
Well, could you imagine having a romantic moment and you're like, Cindy, hold on, I got to call the girls, and you all show up, and then you sing for them, and then they leave, and you're
Oh,
like,
no, I
did
thought
it
you would
work?
just put the music on.
They'd be mortified.
Just turn it on.
They'd be mortified. Giving them something to feel would be great for that, though.
Yeah, it
like a
would
lap
be.
dance.
It would
or
be a
something.
private
That'd be
session.
cute.
A private
Uh-huh.
session.
All right. Well, not to completely change the subject at all on this, but I hear you guys are in the studio working on a new album. Is that true?
We have begun the process.
You
of working
have.
on a new CD.
That's very
Really.
exciting. I don't think a lot of people know this just yet. So I know that the fan base that you have is so far and wide that when they hear this, they're going to get very excited.
I know.
We hope they do.
hope so.
You know, because our goal is to put out something new. We're working towards fourth quarter of this year.
Of 09.
Of '09, and you know, we've been wanting to do this for a while, and our fans have really been everywhere we go. When are you putting out a new CD?
Sure.
So you know, for us and for the fans, you know, this is something that we're working towards.
All right. How is it getting back into the studio together after all these years too? Has it a new, unique experience, or is it similar?
You know, we had to get the cobwebs out a little bit because right when we went in with Denny, our producer from the past, it was kind of like, he calls us Rusty Divas.
Rusty Divas. That's what he calls us.
That's what you call the album.
Not Funky Divas, but Rusty Divas. So it's like, well, we haven't been, you know, we've sung live in the stage, but singing in the studio with headphones on is a little, yeah.
No,
Totally
he has dog
different
ears
element.
too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
I declare you can sing that note right, and he
1,000
heard
times,
it wrong.
yeah.
Exactly.
So you singing it till he hears it right.
Exactly. And you got it right like 100 times ago, but he still makes sure
Right.
Exactly.
Again.
Perfect.
Exactly.
We're working
Yeah,
the old
yeah.
school way. No machines, no, what do they call it?
Auto-tune.
No auto-tune.
Gotcha. So it's completely organic. It's just you guys singing around the mics. And do you have the band in there, or do you lay down the tracks and they do that?
They lay down the
Lay down
tracks.
the
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
But still, it must be a really cool vibe, all four of you guys being back in the room together
It's exciting.
to do that.
Yeah, we have a lot of memories that come up and how we treat each other and how we were treated back then.
Yep.
Funny and laughing at each other and getting in trouble. It's cute. We have fun.
All right. Well, I'm so excited. I'm having so much fun, and I don't want this show to end. So we're going to take another break, and we're going to come back, and even more surprises for En Vogue, and more music and fun will ensue when we come back. I have been back. Having such a great time here with Terry, Dawn, Cindy, and Maxine of En Vogue, but we are just about out of time. I hate it, but I know. But we do have one more surprise for you.
Oh my God.
I'm surprised.
Someone else also heard you were going to be on the show. You got a lot of fans.
No ex-boyfriends, right? Coming in the
No ex-boyfriends, I promise.
high school.
No
Okay.
ex-boyfriends. Take a
High
look.
school.
You'll see.
Hi, it's Holly Robinson. Pete, how you doing? I have a little song I just wanted to sing briefly. It's called What's It Gonna Be? I've always wanted to be the fifth member of En Vogue. It's all I dream about. I just wanna go on the road. If I could hang with y'all, I'd do anything. I'd get you Starbucks, just let me sing. There'll be some soul shaking, heart breaking, love making if I join it. What's it gonna be? 'Cause I need to sing. Oh, don't you wanna see me with Evie? Yeah. And I need to go. Song. I have a question. So, with 4 women and 4 totally separate lives, how do you all manage to make decisions as a group while respecting each other?
Wow, that's a really good question.
She can sing.
Yeah.
She really has a nice voice.
Oh, that's
She have to beat me down to get in the group.
But she never sang around us, did she? Or for Hanging with Mr. Cooper at all when we were on set?
Yeah,
she would do that.
Yeah.
When we did her a television show, we sang,
Hanging with
Oh,
Mr.
that's right.
Cooper.
yeah,
That one?
Holly,
Something
she's
like
my best
that.
friend.
Yeah.
You
Beautiful
guys
voice.
even look like you could be sisters.
I know, it's really
Very much.
freaky.
Yeah.
But you have her last name, so I was very confused.
Robinson.
I'm like, are they related?
That's funny.
So how do you guys do that? That's interesting. Decision making, respectfully. You guys are all up front leads, and you have to make decisions sometimes. How is that for you guys?
Just
We take a
communication
vote.
again.
We take a vote. Usually
Yeah.
the majority rules.
Okay.
And,
that would be you. You put your hand up like, I'm the majority. Maxine.
Majority rules, but not if it makes everyone uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Some feels.
They're actually really good about taking into consideration my family situation because, of course, if things are not balanced, at home, I can't work. I'm just they don't want to work with me
mommy.
if I'm just not if everything isn't okay at home. So, just in terms of not making the schedule too lengthy, too hectic.
Sure.
I can't be gone too long and. And they're really good about that.
No, you're good about coming with us because I can't imagine her husband being at home with 4 kids.
Four,
It's
I
just
know.
a lot.
Yeah,
And even
yeah.
when they're at school all day, when they come home, it's
Yeah.
before they go to school and come home. That's just a lot. And even with Max and her daughter, she's just a teenager and leaving her with other people, even though it's family, it's still not mom.
No, I totally
Right.
understand
Exactly.
too. If it's not
Yeah.
right at home, no matter what,
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
not
Right.
easy to do anything.
So we sort of tailor the schedule. You know, everybody's just sort of in agreement that we tailor the schedule a lot around our home lives. You know, and just make sure that it works. That you know, it's a fine balance, but we make sure that we try to make that work.
Yeah. Well, speaking of schedule, I understand besides a U.S. tour, after you put out this new album you're working on, you guys are going to embark on a world tour.
Yes.
That's going to be difficult.
Absolutely.
That's going to be
Yeah.
difficult.
How are you going to be able to pull that one off?
Interesting.
Are the families coming along for the ride?
You know, it just depends on how that tour is and how long it is, or you know, every once in a while, like there's like for instance, in June we're going to Japan, and we'll be there just a week. You know, and we will have done 8 shows in a week.
Oh, wow.
Then we come back. So for that, I'm
Taking your
taking 2 of my little girls.
Oh, that's going to be a great
You
experience.
know,
Oh,
just right when
wonderful,
school's out. So things, you know, you can get to another country and do a lot of shows and get back, and so we just have to do it that way now. We can't like stay out for 3 months. There was one time you guys had gone to Europe for 3 months without me. It was just after my last son is 4 years old, and I didn't go for that one. So.
I can't believe you have 4 kids.
Isn't
That gives me
amazing?
hope.
She was so good, right?
Well, I look like that.
I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her.
I know. Well,
Put her
it's
in the front and we hide behind her.
oh, come on, all of you guys, really, seriously.
She's taller than all of us, so yeah, it works.
I had just in my pinky.
Oh, stop. You look great. Are you kidding?
Well, I was
So
hoping
you
maybe
look
after the show we could,
backstage.
you know, you could teach me a little something,
Exactly.
something. I could pretend to be a member.
We would love
And Holly Robinson Peete can live vicariously through me for a moment.
Okay.
Uh-oh, she might fight you on that
I
one.
know. Well, maybe that'll be behind the scenes of the show. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. It was just so wonderful
for having
having
us.
you.
having
You're a
us.
sweetheart.
I feel like you should come back and like I want to invite you to my house so we can have like a coffee
let's
clash.
have a pajama party.
Yeah, all
Pajama
right.
party.
Let's do that.
That would be fun.
Let's have coffee.
I will talk.
Tea. She's the tea lady.
Coffee and
Exactly,
tea, and
yes.
everyone at home,
New York
keep an
pizza.
eye out for their upcoming album. I know I will. I couldn't get it out of them what it was called, but it's coming out this year, so you just look for it and look for En Vogue.
All right, America. It's time to free our minds. Hey, hey, hey. Ooh. Hey. Yeah, yeah. Woo. Rock it out, y'all. Come on. Hey, Cindy. Talk to the people, why don't you?
was this nice, you can't fool me. Now you're talking like you made a change. Wow. The more you talk, the more things sound the same. I think you can just walk back into her without a good feel. I just sit back and watch you make a fool of yourself. 'Cause you're just wasting your time. Oh, you're never gonna get it. Never ever gonna get it. My love, babe. No, you're never gonna get it. Had your chance to make a change. Yeah, no, you're never gonna get it. Not this time. Never gonna get it. My love, babe. No, you're never gonna get it. Had your chance to make a change. Well, now you promised me the moon and stars. Wow. Save your breath, you won't get very far. Gave you many chances to make change. The only thing you changed was love today. It doesn't matter what you do, what you say. She isn't living that way. Baby, next time you give your woman a little respect, so you won't be hearing her say, no way. No, you're never gonna get it. Not this time. You're never gonna get it. My love, babe. No, you're never gonna get it. Had your chance to make a change. Yeah. Never gonna get it. Not this time. Never gonna get it. My love, babe. No, you're never gonna get it. Had your chance to make a change. Oh. No, you're never gonna get it. Not this time. Never gonna get it. My love, babe. No, you're never gonna get it. Had your chance to make a change. Yeah. Never gonna get it. Not this time. Never gonna get it. My love, babe. No, you're never gonna get it. Had your chance to make a change. Yeah. Woo! Yes, sir. Now I don't give too much, but not for you. That's right. Baby, when you're lacking, you're losing. I'm out of you. Doesn't matter what you do, what you say. She doesn't love you. No way. Baby, next time you give the woman a little respect, so you won't be hearing her say, no way.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Never gonna get it, 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 never gonna get it. Never gonna get it, 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 never gonna get it. Never gonna get it, my love, babe. Never ever gonna get it, sweet love, babe. You're never gonna get it, yeah. Never gonna get it, my love, babe. Not this time. Never ever gonna get it, sweet love, babe. Never gonna get it. With that Vogue, y'all. Here we go. Ooh, my first mistake was I wanted too much time. I had to have it morning, noon, and night. If I would have known then the things that I know now, I might not have lost the time I complained about. Don't waste your time fighting blind. Oh, despair. Hold on to your love. You got to hold on. Hold on to your love. Baby, hold on. Hold on to your love. Ooh, you got to hold on. Hold on to your love. Ooh. The art of playing games now is not the heart you break. It's about the love you make when his heart's on fire. Give him love every day. Remember he needs space. Be patient and he'll give his heart to you. Don't waste your time fighting blind. Oh, despair. Hold on to your love. Ooh, you got to hold on. Hold on to your love. You got to hold on to your love. Hold yeah. On to your love. Oh, baby, hold on. Hold on to your love. Yeah, hold on. Trust and honesty too must be the golden rule. Come on. 'Cause you feel the strength of passion in your soul. So deeply within, oh, the magic that you share. So sacrifice and show how much you care. Don't waste your time. Hold on to your love. Yeah, you got to hold on. Hold on to your love. Woo, you gotta keep the time. Hold on and hang on tight and don't let go. No, no, no. Do you don't let go. No, you better not let go. Don't you wanna keep on holding on to that love? Yeah. Bring it down, sing. Hey, 'cause if you love him, if you need him, really want him, just keep on hanging on. A little trust, honesty, that's right. Golden rule, feel the strength of passion in your soul. Hold on to your love. Hold on to that love. Hold on. Oh, you gotta hold on to your love. Hey. Whoa, hold on to that love now, baby. Hold on. Oh, you got to hold on. Your love. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. You better hold on to that love now, baby. Hold What's it gonna be? 'Cause I've been pretend. Don't you wanna be old and fresh? Hold me tight and don't let go. By the right time, don't let go. I often tell myself that we could be more than just friends. I know you think that if we move too soon, we'll all end. I live in misery when you're not around, and I won't be satisfied till it's taken over. There'll be heartbreak, soul shake, yeah, there'll be some love, yeah, heartbreak, soul shake. What's it gonna be? 'Cause I can't pretend. Don't you wanna be old and fresh? Hold me tight and don't let go. Don't let go. You have a right, yeah. Don't let go. I often fantasize the skies above our chair. They know my heart speak to you like only lovers do. If I could wear clothes, I pretend I was you and lose control. There'll be some love, heartbreaking young, soul shaking young, heartbreaking baby. There'll be some love, yeah. Oh, make it, make